Tonight, you begin a journey far north, where winter's breath sculpts mountains of ancient ice. The evening sky above Reykjavik glows with faint ribbons of aurora, a silent invitation to the expedition that waits for you. Your pack rests against your leg as you stand on the quiet dock, the cold air crisp and sharp. Around you, the rest of the small team gathers 5 strangers, all chosen for a single goal: to explore the newly revealed ice caves beneath the vast Vatnajökull Glacier. Your guide, a sturdy Icelander named Eric, adjusts his headlamp and studies the distant mountains. "The meltwater has carved a new path," he says in a calm, gravelly voice. "We'll be the first to map it before the season closes." His words hold a quiet thrill. This is a chance to step where no one else has, to hear the glacier's hidden song. You follow the team onto a rugged vehicle designed for ice and rock. As the engine rumbles to life, the city lights shrink behind you. The tires crunch over frozen ground, a sound both steady and strange in the open silence. Through the window, endless plains of snow roll beneath the moonlight. The world outside feels untouched, a place where time slows and the ordinary rules of life fade. Hours pass, the landscape growing wilder. Shadows of mountains loom like silent giants. Occasionally, Eric points to distant peaks or frozen rivers, naming them in the lyrical Icelandic language. You repeat the sounds quietly, each name a small spell. The road narrows, then disappears into a frozen expanse. Finally, the vehicle stops at a modest base camp, 2 low huts, their roofs thick with snow. Stepping outside, the cold seizes you instantly. Your breath turns to a misty cloud. The air smells of clean ice and distant seawater. Above, the aurora stretches wider, green and violet flames weaving across the night. It feels like the world is whispering secrets only the patient can hear. Inside the main hut, a wood stove crackles softly. You gather with the team around a sturdy wooden table. Eric spreads a map across it, lines of blue marking hidden rivers beneath the glacier. "We follow this path to the western cavern," he explains. "It will be narrow in places. Move carefully, stay with the group. The glacier is alive, it shifts, it breathes." His eyes linger on each of you, ensuring the seriousness sinks in. You unpack your gear: insulated boots, a harness, and a compact lamp. Your heart beats faster. This is no casual stroll. This is an encounter with the unknown. A kettle hisses on the stove, and someone pours steaming tea into enamel cups. The warmth steadies you as you sip, the faint taste of herbs grounding you in the present moment. Before dawn, Eric wakes everyone. Outside, the horizon glows with a cold silver light. Snow crunches beneath your boots as you follow the group toward the glacier's edge. The air is so sharp it almost sings in your lungs. Ahead, the glacier rises like a frozen ocean wave, its surface ridged and blue. Faint cracks and pops echo from deep within natural sounds, but they stir a quiet unease. The entrance to the cave is a narrow slit in the ice, barely wide enough for one person at a time. Eric kneels, testing the stability of the opening with his gloved hand. "It's safe," he murmurs. One by one, you clip into the safety line and step forward. The moment you cross the threshold, the world changes. Cold wraps around you like a second skin. Your headlamp catches walls of deep sapphire ice, smooth and glassy. The ceiling curves like a frozen wave above you, shimmering with trapped bubbles of air. Each footstep echoes softly, magnified in the hush. Deeper inside, the cave widens into a chamber. Light dances on the walls, reflecting your lamps in shifting patterns. Tiny streams trickle beneath your feet, their sound a quiet music. You run your fingers along the ice, silky and ancient, colder than anything you've touched. Eric leads the way, his voice a calm guide. This tunnel formed only months ago, he says. The glacier never stops moving. What we walk through today might be gone next year. His words carry both wonder and a subtle warning. The path narrows again. You crouch, following a tunnel that twists like a serpent. A sudden drop of water lands on your neck, startling in the chill. The echo of the drip stretches far into the dark, as if the glacier itself responds. Then you hear it, a faint sound beyond the usual creaks and drips. A low, distant rumble, almost like a voice carried through the ice. You pause, holding your breath. The others stop too, their lamps casting restless shadows. Eric tilts his head, listening. The sound fades, leaving only silence. Probably shifting ice, he says after a moment, though his brow furrows. Stay close. You continue, the tunnel bending sharply. The air grows colder, the light from your headlamp catching strange shapes in the ice, frozen waves, spirals that look carved by an unseen hand. Another sound drifts through the passage, a soft, hollow moan that makes the hair on your arms rise. This is no ordinary cave. Something ancient stirs beneath the glacier, a presence neither hostile nor welcoming, simply vast and unknowable. You move forward, drawn by equal parts curiosity and a thrill that quickens your pulse. The tunnel twists downward, each curve pulling you deeper into the glacier's silent heart. Your headlamp scatters reflections across walls that gleam like liquid sapphire. The air feels tighter here, heavy with an ancient cold that presses gently against your chest. Behind you, the crunch of boots and the faint hiss of breath from your teammates create a rhythm, a fragile thread of sound in the deep hush. Careful here, he murmurs. The floor dips suddenly, a slope slick with packed ice. You angle your body and descend, your gloved hand trailing along the wall for balance. The ice is smooth but carries faint ridges, like frozen ripples of an old river. Halfway down, a gust of frigid air drifts upward from the darkness ahead. It smells different, cleaner somehow, almost metallic. A low vibration follows, so faint you feel it more than hear it. It shivers through your boots and into your bones. You glance at Eric. He meets your eyes and gives a small nod, as if to say, I feel it too. The slope levels out into a vast chamber. Your headlamp beam struggles to touch the far walls. Overhead, the ceiling arcs like the dome of a cathedral, patterned with streaks of midnight blue and ghostly white. Embedded bubbles glitter like trapped stars. A shallow stream runs across the floor, water so clear it mirrors the light with a silver glow. Everyone pauses, awed by the otherworldly beauty. Then that subtle vibration returns stronger now, a faint tremor that sends tiny ripples across the stream. A hollow boom follows, echoing through the chamber like a distant drum. The sound lingers, reverberating until it seems to pulse inside your chest. "What was that?" someone whispers. "Shift in the ice?" Eric answers softly, though his voice carries a tension you haven't heard before. "It happens. We move carefully." He leads you toward a dark archway on the chamber's far side. The passage beyond is narrow and low, forcing you to crouch. Your lamp reveals delicate columns of translucent ice that look as if they might shatter with a single breath. The floor tilts downward again, this time steeper. Ropes are clipped to anchors drilled into the wall, and you attach your harness as instructed. The descent is slow. Each step sends a crunch echoing into unseen depths. Your breath forms clouds that hang in the still air before drifting away. Somewhere ahead, water drips in a steady rhythm plunk, plunk like the ticking of a giant clock. Halfway down, a sudden gust of air brushes your face, carrying with it a faint murmur. It's not the groan of shifting ice. It's softer, almost human, like a voice whispering from behind a door. You freeze, heart thudding. The murmur fades, replaced by the endless drip of water. "Did anyone hear that?" you ask quietly. A couple of teammates nod. Eric scans the passage, his lamp steady. "Air pockets can create strange acoustics," he says. "Keep moving." You want to believe him, but the sound lingers in your mind, familiar yet impossible to place. The rope leads you into another chamber, smaller than the last, but more intricate. Ice formations twist from floor to ceiling like frozen tornadoes. In the center stands a pillar of pure crystal, lit from within by your lamps. It glows faintly blue, as if holding its own quiet fire. Eric approaches the pillar, running a gloved hand along its surface. "Remarkable," he murmurs. "This could be thousands of years old." A teammate named Lena kneels to photograph the formation. The moment her camera flashes, a sharp crack splits the air, loud and sudden. The pillar trembles, sending a fine spray of ice crystals into the chamber. Everyone steps back instinctively. The crack fades, but the silence that follows is deeper than before. "Is it safe?" someone asks. "It's stable," Eric replies, though his eyes scan the ceiling. "But we won't stay long." You circle the chamber, drawn to a narrow fissure at the far side. The opening is barely wider than your shoulders, and a strange blue light flickers within. When you lean closer, a cool draft kisses your face. It smells faintly of salt, like a memory of the sea. "Eric," you call, pointing to the fissure. "There's something here." He joins you, crouching to peer inside. "It's a tight squeeze," he says. "But it could open to another section. Do you want to see?" The group hesitates. Finally, Eric decides two of you will explore while the others wait. You volunteer, heart racing with a mix of nerves and excitement. Lena offers to follow, her camera slung across her chest. You slip through the fissure sideways, the ice cold against your jacket. For a moment, darkness swallows you. Then your lamp reveals a sloping corridor that bends sharply to the left. The walls here are smoother, almost polished. Water drips from the ceiling in slow, heavy drops that echo like distant footsteps. A sudden gust of wind sweeps through the corridor, extinguishing Lena's lamp for a second before it flickers back on. She exhales sharply. Did you feel that? Before you can answer, the murmur returns clearer now, a low, resonant hum that rises and falls like a chant. The sound comes from ahead, deeper in the ice. It's not threatening exactly, but it prickles your skin. You and Lena exchange a glance. Neither of you speaks. Instead, you move forward, drawn by the strange melody. The corridor opens into a circular chamber lit by an eerie blue glow. You can't find the source of the light. It seems to emanate from the ice itself. At the center of the floor lies a shallow pool of water, perfectly still. The humming stops the moment you step inside. Silence presses against your ears, so complete it feels alive. You kneel at the pool's edge and shine your lamp into its depths. The water is impossibly clear, revealing a network of tunnels descending into darkness. Lena whispers, "It's beautiful, but how is it glowing?" Before you can answer, a low boom shakes the chamber. The water in the pool trembles, sending ripples across its surface. Then, from deep below, a faint echo rises, a sound like a distant voice calling through a long tunnel. The syllables are unintelligible, but the tone is unmistakably urgent. Lena grips your arm. That's not just ice. Another boom follows, louder this time. Tiny shards of ice rain from the ceiling, sparkling like falling stars. You feel the floor vibrate under your knees. Time to go, you say, your voice steadier than you feel. You retrace your steps toward the fissure, the echoes of those strange sounds chasing you. Behind you, the humming resumes softer now, almost a lullaby. It follows until you squeeze back through the narrow opening and rejoin the group. Eric studies your faces. What did you see? You describe the glowing chamber and the sounds. He listens without interruption, then nods slowly. This glacier is full of mysteries, he says. Sometimes it sings. Sometimes it warns. Either way, we respect it. The team packs up quickly. As you begin the ascent back through the twisting tunnels, you can still hear that faint hum in the distance, less like a warning now, more like a memory etched in the ice. The climb back through the narrow tunnels is slower than before. Each step upward feels heavier, as if the glacier itself resists your departure. Your breath fogs the air, forming quick clouds that vanish in the lamplight. Behind you, the faint hum you heard in the hidden chamber lingers, now a distant thread weaving through the silence. It is neither hostile nor welcoming, it simply is, an ancient resonance that refuses to be forgotten. Eric leads steadily, his rope taut and sure. "Stay close," he calls softly. Ice can play tricks with sound. Don't let it pull you off the path. His voice is calm but firm, the kind of tone that leaves no room for argument. You tighten your grip on the rope and keep moving. The tunnel narrows until you have to turn sideways. Your backpack scrapes against the icy wall, sending a small cascade of frost to the floor. Lena, climbing just behind you, mutters, "It's tighter than I remember." Her words echo strangely, repeating in a faint chorus that doesn't match her breath. You glance back, unsettled, but say nothing. Maybe it's the acoustics. Maybe. After what feels like an endless ascent, the tunnel opens into a larger corridor you don't recall from the descent. Eric stops, frowning at the walls. This isn't the same path, he murmurs. The glacier shifts. It's alive. A hush falls over the group. The passage ahead curves gently to the right, descending into a dim blue glow. Eric consults his map and headlamp. It should reconnect, he decides. We follow it carefully. You proceed, the new tunnel broader, yet more intricate. Ice formations hang from the ceiling like glass chandeliers. Your light refracts through them, scattering tiny rainbows across the walls. Beautiful, yes, but there's a subtle wrongness here, a sense of being observed. The hum returns, deeper now, a low vibration you feel in your ribs. It swells and fades like a tide. Eric pauses, tilting his head. That's different, he admits. Stay alert. Farther along, you reach a fork. Two passages diverge like the letter Y. Eric studies them, his brow furrowed. The left path slopes gently upward, the right plunges deeper, its walls shimmering with faint, flickering light. Before Eric can choose, a sudden crack resounds behind you, a sharp report like a snapped tree branch. Everyone turns. Nothing moves, but a fine dust of ice drifts from the ceiling. That was close, someone whispers. We keep moving, Eric says firmly. Left path upward. Relief washes through you as you follow the left fork. But after only a dozen steps, the floor trembles beneath your boots. A dull roar swells from the right-hand tunnel, like water rushing through a vast, unseen pipe. Then comes another sound, an unmistakable shout, distant but human. A single word, stretched thin by the echo, help. You freeze. The others exchange startled glances. Did you hear that? Lena asks. It came from the right passage, Eric says, his voice tight. But no one else should be here. The shout comes again, faint and wavering. Against reason, it sounds pleading. Eric hesitates only a second. We check it, he decides. Quickly. You retrace your steps and enter the right-hand tunnel. The glow intensifies as you descend. The hum becomes a low chant, layered with whispers that almost form words. The sound of rushing water grows louder, mingling with what might be distant footfalls. The corridor bends sharply and opens into a cavernous chamber. A river of meltwater surges through its center, black and glassy. Overhead, the ceiling arches so high your lamps barely graze it. Along the far wall, a narrow ledge winds toward a dark opening. Anyone see movement? Eric calls softly. No one answers, but you sense something just beyond the reach of your light. A flicker, a shadow darting across the ledge. You strain to listen. The rush of water fills your ears, but beneath it, a faint sobbing rises and falls. Eric gestures toward the ledge. Careful, single file. You inch along the narrow path, the river roaring below. The ice underfoot is slick, forcing you to plant each step with care. Halfway across, a gust of icy wind surges from the darkness ahead, nearly knocking you off balance. It carries a faint metallic scent, like cold iron. From the opening at the end of the ledge comes a sudden, piercing cry. It's definitely human, filled with both fear and urgency. Your heart pounds. Lena grips your arm. Someone's in there. Eric signals for silence. He edges forward, lamp raised. The passage beyond the ledge is low and jagged, forcing you to duck as you follow. The air grows warmer, oddly humid. A trickle of water runs along the floor, carrying a faint reddish tint that catches the light like diluted wine. The tunnel widens into a chamber lit by an otherworldly glow. Here, the ice walls shimmer with a deep crimson sheen, as if infused with the setting sun. At the center stands a massive column of ice streaked with dark veins. Behind it, a figure crouches small, motionless. "Hello," Eric calls gently. The figure stirs. It's a man, wrapped in a heavy parka, face pale and eyes wide. He looks no older than 30, but his cheeks are hollow with exhaustion. "Thank God," he rasps, voice cracking. I thought I was done." Eric kneels beside him. "You're safe now. Are you injured?" The man shakes his head weakly. "Got separated from my group. 2 days. Maybe more. Lost my radio. The ice kept moving." He glances at the crimson walls, shivering. And the sounds. The singing. It wouldn't stop. You help him stand. His legs tremble, but hold. He clutches a small pack like a lifeline. Lena offers him water, which he drinks with shaking hands. Eric frowns. "No expeditions were scheduled here this week," he says quietly to you. Something's wrong. As if on cue, the hum rises again, louder than ever. It swells into a haunting chorus that fills the chamber, a sound both beautiful and unnerving. The crimson walls pulse faintly, as though responding to the melody. The stranger covers his ears. "It's starting again," he whispers. "It doesn't like us here." Eric motions to leave. "We move now," he says firmly. "Everyone stay close." You guide the stranger back through the narrow passage, the hum following like a living thing. At the ledge, the sound shifts higher, sharper, almost a wail. The river below churns violently, throwing up cold spray. You grip the wall, heart racing. Halfway across, a sudden crack reverberates overhead. A sheet of ice splinters near the ceiling, raining shards that shatter on the ledge. The stranger stumbles, but you catch his arm, pulling him to safety. Eric urges everyone forward. Almost there. You reach the far side, breathless. The wail fades to a low moan, then silence. Only the rush of the river remains. Back in the main tunnel, Eric checks the stranger's condition. "We'll get you out," he assures him. "Stay with us." The man nods weakly. "Please, I can't stay another night." As you retrace your path upward, the glacier seems to shift around you. The tunnels feel unfamiliar, the walls subtly different. The faint hum returns intermittently, like a heartbeat echoing through the ice. But now it carries a different tone, not threatening, not welcoming, simply watchful. Eventually, you reach a chamber that matches Eric's map. Relief flickers in his eyes. "This way," he says, voice low but steady. We're back on the original route. The climb continues. Your muscles ache, but adrenaline keeps you sharp. Behind you, the rescued man whispers something you barely catch. It wasn't just the ice. It watches. You don't respond. Some truths are better left unspoken in the dark. The final ascent begins in a silence so deep it feels almost physical. Your crampons bite into the slick incline while your breath forms clouds in the chill air. The rescued man who finally whispers his name as Jonas walks between you and Lena. His steps careful but fueled by a quiet determination to reach daylight. Every few minutes, the glacier releases a muffled groan, as if a giant creature shifts in its sleep. It's a sound you now recognize not as danger, but as the natural language of a living, moving mass of ice. Yet beneath that natural rhythm still hides the low hum. Fainter than before, but undeniably present. An echo of the crimson chamber that clings to memory like frost on glass. Eric checks the compass, then glances back. We're close. Another half-kilometer, and we should see the main shaft of light. His tone is calm but taut, the strain of command edging each word. The tunnel widens into a rotunda of pale blue walls. Frozen stalactites hang like organ pipes, their tips sharp as knives. Jonas slows, eyes darting upward. You hear that? He whispers. At first you catch only the soft drip of meltwater. Then it comes a faint, rhythmic knocking, like someone rapping from deep within the ice. Eric signals to stop. Everyone holds their breath. The knocking continues, 3 slow taps. A pause, then 3 more. It's too deliberate to be chance. Lena shivers. It's like Morse code. Her voice fades as the knocking stops abruptly. The tunnel falls silent except for the quiet hiss of your breathing. Keep moving, Eric orders, though his eyes betray unease. The glacier settles creates strange acoustics. That's all. You press on. But the sense of being watched grows heavier, like invisible eyes tracking each movement. The hum thickens, a low vibration that makes the walls seem to tremble. Tiny cracks spider across the ceiling, shedding glittering crystals that rain around you. Suddenly the passage splits again. Left, a steep upward path. Right, a narrow chute glistening with moisture. Eric checks his map, frowning. This wasn't here yesterday. Before a decision is made, a cold gust whips through the right chute, carrying a whispering voice. Soft, almost kind. Your name. Clear and unmistakable. Your stomach knots. Lena grips your arm. I heard it too, she breathes. Jonas looks terrified. Eric tightens the rope around his harness. Left path. Now, don't look back. You obey, though the urge to glance behind is nearly overwhelming. The upward tunnel is steep and narrow. Ice groans underfoot as you climb. But at last a distant shimmer appears ahead. The pale glow of daylight. Relief surges through the group. Eric quickens the pace. But the glacier seems unwilling to let you go. The hum builds once more, rising to a resonant crescendo that fills the passage. It's not hostile, yet it carries a strange finality. A sound of parting, or perhaps of warning. The light widens until the tunnel opens onto the glacier's mouth. Blinding white daylight floods in, reflecting off endless fields of snow. Cold wind rushes past, whipping stray crystals into glittering halos. You step onto the open ice. The vast Arctic sky stretching overhead. The hum ceases in an instant, leaving only the roar of the wind. For a moment, no one speaks. The silence feels immense. The world above strangely empty without the glacier's voice. Jonas collapses to his knees, face tilted toward the sun. "Thank you," he whispers. His eyes shine with gratitude and something else. A lingering dread he can't name. Eric kneels beside him, checking his vitals with a professional calm. "We'll radio for pickup," he says. "Hold on a little longer." Lena lowers her pack, gazing back at the dark tunnel. "Do you think it was alive?" she asks softly. Eric doesn't answer right away. He follows her gaze, the reflection of the glacier bright in his eyes. Finally, he says, "Alive, yes, but not in any way we understand." You take one last look into the yawning entrance. The shadows inside seem deeper now, the memory of crimson light still burning in your mind. The faintest echo reaches your ears. Or maybe it's just the wind. A low, musical chord that fades as quickly as it came. Jonas stirs beside you. "It won't forget us," he murmurs. "I know it." Epilogue. Days later, safe in the warmth of a research station. The events inside the glacier replay endlessly in your thoughts. Recordings from your helmet mic captured nothing but the standard creaks of ice and your own breathing. No hum, no knocking, no voice calling your name. Yet when you close your eyes, you feel the vibration again. A subtle resonance thrumming deep in your bones. A reminder that the glacier is still there, alive beneath the endless snow, keeping its secrets. You don't tell anyone about the final whisper. Some experiences belong only to those who hear them.